Check one. So, good evening, everyone. And thank you for holding. And of course, welcome to another installment of our community conversations. We are going to kick off now. Those on the outside, free to come in, because we want to start. So may we all stand for the national anthem, after which I will ask Sister Bernadette to do the invocation first. So may we stand for the anthem, please. Please remain standing. Sister Bernadette will come and do the invocation first. Thank you.
Father God, we give you thanks. We give you all the praise and all the glory, O God, tonight. Father God, we thank you that we can come together like this in this forum to discuss the matters of the PNM, O God, and the issues of the community of Patience Hill, Signan Hill. Father God, I thank you, O God, for your presence, because it's the way 2 and 3 are gathered. You are here in our presence once we invite you, O God. And I want to thank you for your presence and your angels' presence. I lift up, O God, the speakers of tonight, O God. I ask, O God, to bless them. Touch them, O God, from the crown of their head to the sole of their feet. I ask, O God, to speak through them, O God. Whatever has been discussed here, O God, let it be fruitful, O God. Let it not be empty promises, O God. Father God, I ask you, O God, to just bless each and every one of us here tonight, O God. And those who are on their way, I ask you, O God, to bring them safely. And let this meeting, O God, be a fruitful and a respectful meeting. Let everyone learn to speak, and those who are speaking, let the others learn to listen. And when questions are asked, please let everyone answer to the question, O God, and be respectful in all means, O God. Let each and every one of us agree to disagree in whatever matter it is. And I thank you, O God, for tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. You may take your seats. And thank you very much, Sister Bernadette. So, brothers and sisters, good evening. Yet again, this is the People's National Movement. And we are doing our series of community conversations. Today we are in Signan Hill, Patience Hill and surroundings. And of course, we're in good company. I want to let you know that tonight we are going to be as quick as possible, because after the meeting, we want you to spend some time with us as we're taking the football. So I'll be looking at our time. But more importantly, it's good to have you here this evening. because I want to remind all of us that the bell has been rung. So we are the starting blocks. So my friends, if you weren't ready, we are ready now. Allow me to recognize today our political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis, our hard-working political leader. I also want to recognize the General Secretary, Sister Akisi London, and other members of the executive. I also want to recognize some other prospective candidates who are joining us tonight, and as you know, as we go along, we're revealing them. So give them a lusty round of applause. But tonight, so the spotlight is on a bright and shining star, a man on the ground, a community man, a man who involved in the groups, who have continued to do community service. A man goes by the name of Brian Harris. And we are indeed pleased, because we are bringing to you a man who lived by the service and representation, even though he's not in office. And that's what you want. Thank you, Brother Harris. But as I go in all the areas, you see that our process is a very stiff one. And Mr. Harris emerged victorious in that process. I also want to recognize this evening Mr. Kurt Wilson and Mr. Salandi. Give them a round of applause. And wasting no time tonight, I want to invite Mr. Harris to take the stage.
Join up in the east, yeah. Team up in the west, yeah.
Make some noise, man. We have Mr. Harris taking the stage. A humble man.
Hey, we got this. Hey, hey.
Mr. Harris told me that the hallmark of his life is service to his people and his community, and I'm pleased to have him. So I want to have Mr. Harris join me in welcoming the political leader on the set. Brother Ansel Dennis. The man himself, Mr. Ansel Dennis. Thank you very much. You know, as we go from community to community, we say from this platform, Tobago deserves better. And we say as well, let us put Tobago first again. And one of the reasons I want to congratulate our political leader, because he says, you know, that this time we are doing it differently, because we are bringing your prospective candidate to you first. You see your candidate first. And presenting to you your prospective candidate, Mr. Brian Harris. Personal, we are putting you first. And as we go, we want to hear from our candidate. We ask you to talk to us, make your suggestions, any statements, share your P&M story, share your pain, let people understand what is taking place. So we are asking you to speak freely. And we're also saying that if it is that you want to come to the mic and you don't wish to be on the camera, raise your hand and we will not point the camera to you. But more importantly, we should not be afraid to speak up anywhere. the People's National Movement would have ensured that we have where you can speak freely wherever you are. We're not about victimization, so you should feel free to speak. That is why we say Tobago deserves better. And let us put Tobago first again. So because of the tight schedule for this meeting, I will not be too long. I want to put the spotlight on the man who told me the hallmark of his life is service to community and service to people. So, Mr. Harris, welcome to Community Conversations. The spotlight is now on you. Tell me something. Tell all of us. And those who are listening online, we welcome you as well. Tell us, who is Brian Harris? And give us a little bit more.
Well, let me say,
yes?
Well, let me say good evening to each and every one.
Are you hearing it? Take it up. So take some time. We want to hear you, so take some time. Right. The guy say go again, yes?
Right. So let me say good night to each and every one of you. Yeah. Good night to each and every one of you. My people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Good night to the political leader, Mr. Hansel Dennis, Chairman, Mr. Larry Paul. As I sit here this afternoon, I just want to say thank you for coming out and thank you all for supporting a time like this. And as I look in your face and I look the energy that I'm picking up, it's time for us to put Tobago first. So I say thanks for coming again. Now as I sit here this evening, not as your candidate, but as son of this soil, someone you have seen, someone you have walked with, someone you have grown with for more than 35 years. I am your humble servant, Brian Harris, and I'm here to represent this beautiful district of Signal Hill, Patience Hill. And I know by God's grace, we can work together by making this place a better place for each and every one of us. So I would like to share a small story with you as we go ahead. At the age of 17, my mother passed away. I became a parent, taking care of my 4 siblings. The smallest was 2 years. I had choices, I had dreams, good dreams of furthering myself, education-wise. But somewhere along the line, I say family first. And by God's grace, I stepped up. But I want you to know I didn't step up alone. You, the people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill, was with me. You see, you fed us, you guide us, and you pray for us. Days when I learned the true meaning of community. And later, I was adopted by the late Williams Mackenzie, who taught me humility, generosity, and service. These lessons stay within me, mold me, and shape me, and have me today, the Brian Harris I am. And I want to say thanks to each and every one of you. I walk these hills of Signal Hill, Patience Hill. I walk it every time. Listening, helping, mobilizing, and working for the People's National Movement. I was later working with great leaders, such as Mr. Williams Mackenzie, Orville London, Jomo Pitt, Tracy Davison Celestine, and Ms. Shamfa Kajo Lewis. I never push for spotlight or push you anyway. I stay humble. I stay patient. And as old people say, patient men ride donkey. And by patient, hard work. so So by patient hard work, I was here, I asked by the people to serve, to stand up, to represent. And here I am tonight, standing in the midst of you all, thanking you again for having that trust in me, for having that, that love within me. And it didn't stop there. I was also a member of the Signal Hill Police Youth Club. My job in the Police Youth Club was to bring youth, young people, taking them off the street and on the block, and bring them into Prosper, where we see how important mentorship, structure can do for the young people. And it goes on and on, where I have to work. I went on a job in Canada in the farm program for 9 years, doing agriculture. And the opportunity come to me where I could recommend workers from back home. And I did a lot of recommending for the people in Signal Hill, the young fellas in Signal Hill. They had an opportunity to go out and work on a farm program. They had an opportunity to go out, and take their families and so forth. And some of them, they still do it. And that's who Brian Harris really is. Brian Harris is a person that cares about his community, cares about the people, cares about, by extension, the whole of Tobago. And my intention is to serve to the best of my ability by God's grace. And at the end of the day, I can't do it by myself. We need everyone to be on board. We need everyone to step out, and let's put Tobago first again. So I won't have much to say for now, because of time. So I want to thank you all again, once more, for your love, for your strength. And my vision is very simple. A community that works for one another. That's my aim. And we can do it together. So for now, I say thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Harris, a man who, from among you, man said you made him who he is today. Thank you very much. You will hear much more from Mr. Harris later on. But joining Mr. Harris is our esteemed political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis. Brother Dennis, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman Larry Paul. It's a pleasure to be in Pishansil. And of course, I know the electoral district is Signal Hill, Pishansil. So I want to shout out the people, the several of you gathered here who are from Signal Hill as well. Now, this man seated next to me turns out to be one of the humblest individuals that I've ever met. And when the name Brian Harris started circulating in the public domain, as political leader, I had a responsibility to do some research to get to understand who is this Brian Harris that wants to represent the People's National Movement, and more specifically, you, the people of Signal Hill, Pishansil. Because in the PNM, we don't just pick up anything or pick up anybody and send them to run for office. We always ensure that we find people, and we ask the party groups to do that in the first instance, find people of integrity, find people with a track record of service in their communities, and find people that love serving people. And that's the qualities that we look for in getting persons to represent the People's National Movement. And when I did my research on Mr. Harris, I heard some very good things. I heard of his long-standing involvement and contributions to the community in sports, in the police youth club, in the church. I heard about Brian Harris, who interacts with young people on the block, who meets them where they are, and who assists them, who mentors them, who talks to them, and who presents himself as a father figure to the youth in this community. I heard about Brian Harris, who is involved in the church, who loves his God. And once you love your God, you will also love your people. But I also heard about Brian Harris, who is of very little words, but a man of great action. And I am happy to sit here next to him and endorse him as the next assemblyman for Signal Hill Patience Hill. Now, for those of you who haven't noticed, the House was dissolved yesterday, which means that there will be, as predicted by me, you remember I told you all in hope that the House was going to be dissolved the following day. So it was in fact dissolved, and that means there will be a THA election sometime between the 12th of January and the 12th of February 2026. And I strongly believe that you can rule out the 9th of February. Therefore, the election is going to be either the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th of January 2026. So maybe we could play a game, put those dates in a hat, and we will take a bet. People will pick the date, we'll put some money in the hat, and whoever picked the correct date will show up the money. So we'll do that after. But the reality is that this election presents Tobago with an opportunity to reset, to rescue yourselves. To revive your economy and to restore decency, integrity, and honor and respect and integrity to the governance of the island of Tobago. And the only thing they can come to the table with to encourage you to vote for them is that the PNM was there for 21 years. That's the only thing they could come with. The PNM was there for 21 years, and of course, a lot of them will try to convince you that the PNM did nothing for 21 years. But when they come to you and tell you that, I want you to ask them a question. Ask Tate, if the PNM did nothing for 21 years, how come he was a PNM for many years? Ask Farley, if the PNM did nothing for 21 years, who funded his education to university in Jamaica? Ask Farley, who built the school that he was educated in. Ask Farley, who built the school that he was an educator in. Ask Farley, who built the road that he drove from Speyside to come down to Scarborough with for several days. Ask Farley, who built the cultural complex where he took up residence in terms of his office when the office of the chief secretary was not available. Ask Farley, who built the community centers that they keep a lot of their meetings in. Ask Farley, who built the tennis court that he recently refurbished in Speyside. Ask Farley, who built the Scarborough Library, where he visited several times to do research. Ask Farley, who built the playing field and the sporting facilities in Speyside, where his favorite football club, Sides FC, practice and own and develop their skills. Ask Farley, who bought the fast ferries that he will journey to Trinidad on from time to time. Ask Farley all those questions. Ask Faith, who built the 2 hospitals that she's currently mismanaging. Ask Farley, who bought, not Farley, Faith, who bought the old Ford ambulances that are now ensuring that we have an ambulance service now, because the new ones they bought at $18 million, none are working to the extent that they have to hide some of them away in the bush. Ask Faith, who financed her studies all the way up to doctorate, so that today you have to refer to her in an academic setting as Dr. Faith B. Israel. It was the PNM who laid the foundation for all of them to thrive and develop in this Tobago. So don't let any of them in this district or in any other part in Tobago come to tell you that the PNM did nothing for 21 years. Just ask them how you get big so. Who educates you? Ask them those questions. Where you just play sports? How you drive to come down here? Simple questions that you need to ask them. And don't let them try to fool you to tell you that the PNM did nothing. And let me tell you how ridiculous that argument is. Because they have not done much for this term of office. Right? I will not be dishonest like them and say they did nothing. Right? They did some things. They made a few contractors from Trinidad, from South Trinidad, very rich to the extent where they have set up lavish operations and headquarters right here in Tobago. So that could count as something. They built a road in Scarborough for $19 million. That should have cost $9 million. Faith bought some ambulances that aren't working. They built another road for $100 million that should have cost $50 million. So I would not sit here and say they did nothing. They did something. You have to determine if the something that they did was in your best interest or is sufficient to justify your support of them for another term. That is your decision. But the dishonest part of it is that I am sure when they publish their very short list of achievements for this term, they will include the refurbishment of the Likoto Community Center. They will include the refurbishment of the Montgomery sporting facilities, the court, tennis court, basketball court, and so on. And they will also include the refurbishment of the Speyside hard court. And that's perhaps the only thing Farley did for the people of Palataville, Lansamy, Speyside. So they're going to put that in their list of achievements as something that they did. Now, if the refurbishment of those facilities is something, how come the construction of those same facilities done by the PNM is nothing? But this election is not about 21 years. This election is about 4 years. Only 4. This election is about 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. This election is where you, the people of Tobago, must determine whether or not you are satisfied with the performance of this administration for those years to the extent that you are prepared to return them to office. That is what this election is about. And that's a decision each of you will have to make, considering your own personal circumstances, considering your own self-interest, and considering your future generations. And I dare say to you, please, I beg of you, people of Tobago, do not make those decisions based on what will happen over the next 2 months. Because over the next 2 months, you are going to see gifts, toys for children, including bicycles, like never before. You are going to see hampers and food vouchers like never before. Now, their color is blue. You are going to see blue notes distributed on blocks, distributed in households like never before. You are going to see fridges, stoves, microwaves distributed in households like never before. In fact, over the next 2 months, you will be bombarded by a lot of goodies beyond the extent of what you saw in 2013. If you felt that there was splurging in the 2013 THA election, this is going to be 10 times more. And I'm telling you this because I know, as we speak, the same contractors from South Trinidad who were given corrupt contracts and who benefited from your resources through inflated prices of projects and through corrupt procurement processes have utilized some of those funds to import and purchase goodies for you from China and other places. And I can say to you, without fear of contradiction, that there are several containers on the island already loaded with these items. And they will come to you and give you those items with the hope of buying your support for another 4 years. And I want to say to the people of Tobago, your vote is about the next 4 years. Your vote is about your life and your livelihood over the next 4 years. And I will warn you and tell you this, that the actions of the next 4 years, just like the actions of the past 4 years, can in fact impact on the future of your children and your grandchildren. If Tobago, its heritage, its patronage, and its resources, especially its land resources, are prostituted out of here over the next 4 years, then I can tell you, while you might be old and cold and on your way out, your children and grandchildren will suffer the consequences. So when you vote, don't vote for a bicycle. Take the bicycle, but your vote is more than a bicycle. When you vote, don't vote for a stove. If you need a stove, because I don't have a stove to give you at this point in time. So if you need a stove, take the stove. but your vote is worth more than a stove. If you need $1,000 and they're giving you, take it. But your vote is worth more than $1,000. And I want to say in closing to the young men, especially on the block, because they see you as quite vulnerable and they see you as senseless. So they will come to you with $300 and $500 and they will sit on the block all day attempting to buy your vote. But guess what? Remember the last time you got a $500 for your vote, which was in 2021, and maybe you got some more money to vote in the general election. Just remember that by the same night of the election, the $500 did finish. And when you call the phone the next day, they did not answer you. They did not give you anything that they promised, and they totally ignored you up to now. So just remember, your vote is quite valuable, because by your vote you will determine. You are so powerful, you will determine. And there's a saying that says birds that fly high must come down to die. And no matter how high they flew over the last 4 years, you're going to see them coming down on the ground now. You're going to see them coming to your homes. You're going to see them answering their phones and returning calls. You're going to see them on their best behavior. It's like a child when Christmas is coming. They give trouble whole year, disrespect their parents whole year. And as December reach, because they want a gift, they're on their best behavior. Tobagonians, I love all you. And I want to see this island and its people prosper. I want to see Tobagonians being placed first. I want to see Tobago businesses thrive again. I want to see Tobago young people thrive and benefit from opportunities, especially in the tourism and agriculture sector. I want the people of Tobago to become a proud, wealthy, and happy people that love each other once again. Only the PNM can guarantee that. So, in closing again, when you vote, understand the power of your vote and understand the power that you carry as an individual during election. And therefore, vote not based on the party that you support. And even the PNM people, don't vote the PNM just because it's PNM till you're dead. Vote the PNM because you believe that the PNM is going to put you and your interests first again when we resume office. Don't vote for Brian Harris just because Brian Harris is your boy. Vote for Brian Harris because when you look at the options available in this election, you are strongly convinced that he is the one that will answer your phone calls after election day and that will represent you to the best of his ability and that will deliver to you the people of Signal Hill, Patience Hill, over the next 4 years. That is what you need to vote for. So love the PNM, yes, but love Tobago the most. And perhaps more than Tobago, love yourself.
Well said, political leader. Give him another lusty round of applause as we put Tobago first again. Now we're moving quick. Now it's time to get you into the conversation. Before I do that, I recognize former Assemblyman Brother Huey Cadet in the back. And of course, I see some ladies standing. We still have a few more chairs, so we can, those ladies in the back can come up and sit down. But you know, bounding this district is Lambo. You met him before, but he's here. So I want to recognize, you know, they call him Harvest God, but Mr. Husford, stand up and let me see you. Also, this district, also belonging in this district is Bethel. And you have the big man himself, Mr. Timothy. Stand and Timothy. Nah, man, that's too quick. They want to see you, man. Yes, yes, man, that's it. And a lady in whom we are well pleased, we saw last night at Hope. Ms. Bacchus, Samika Bacchus. As we continue, you'll see a lot more of them. I want to let you into the conversation at this time. The political leader told you quite a lot about why you should put Tobago first again, and about why we are saying with some conviction that Tobago deserves better. And in this time, my duty is to remind you that you have a servant leader in the form of Mr. Harris. And his symbol is the Balize. And the party is the People's National Movement. But we have our community conversations. We invite everybody to be here this evening. Now it's time to hear from you. Ask Mr. Harris a question. And if he cannot answer, the political leader will answer. And if he cannot answer, Mr. Harris will answer. So there's a mic in the back. You can go to the back, ask your question. But from my stance, I always say, put the pressure on Mr. Harris. He's your servant leader. He has been out there, and we really want to hear from him. So as you come to the mic, Mr. Harris, I know that you have been a man on the ground. Based on what we are told, you have been walking the community even before you put yourself up for this level of representation. Tell me and tell us what may be one of your main vision for this electoral district. You can name one. So, Mr. Harris, that's for you. Are we hearing the mic? You might go a little louder. Just go a little louder. Just talk. Just talk. Just talk.
Good night, everyone.
Right.
Just want to ask Mr. Brian Harris, what plans do you have for the youths of Signal Hill, Patience Hill, and Extension, Lambo, and Electoral District?
Thank you for your question. Mr. Harris. Yeah, just talk.
The plan, what I did recently, I walk and have conversation with the youths in my constituency. Now, Signal Hill in a mess because everything taken away from them. Signal Hill, Patience Hill was a district where we have a lot of sports, especially for the young people. Village League, all of that. Everything have been taken away from them, no Village League, anything again. So one of the things that I have in plan, I believe in what it had in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And we're going to work together by getting back, this fun, knowing then how Signal Hill was. We had this fun, we had this sports and activities, young people and them always involved. And by extension, if you watch, some of the most talented youth men and talented players you see come from Signal Hill, Patience Hill. For example, late Ricky Nelson, national footballer. Then we have Warren Butler. Then we have Ian Nelson, national goalkeeper, and so forth, So we need to bring back these things we have in our community. And that is one of the things that I am going to bring back as a, representative for Signal Hill, Patience Hill, Spring Garden. So this is one of the things we're going to bring back for the young people and them.
On the job that I see you doing on the ground. For the last 2 months, I see you've been walking every single day. I just want to tell you that when you become the area representative, you see that same momentum, continue it. And Signal Hill, Patience Hill will be a better place. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I will try my best. Bye.
Remember, you can also make a statement, give a suggestion, a compliment. So feel free. And while they're coming, you can still talk about your vision, Ms. Harris, for your district. See someone coming to the mic there? Yes? Feel free. Go right ahead. The mic is open.
Well, good night, ladies and gentlemen. They call me Songboy. PNM family, I'm glad to find all of you. Now all I go see. My people, PNM.
Happy to be in the PNM family because we are putting Tobago first again. Yes. And you can also ask the political leader a question or comment or suggestion as well.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Just take the mic down a little bit. Could you get assistance there? Yes. Perfect. Go right ahead.
Mr. Harris, this is the first time I've seen you, and I don't really know you, but I've listened to what you would have said. Mr. Political Leader listed all the things about what to expect from the administration that is now dismantled, whatever the word is. But anyway, what he didn't mention is that you will see them now like never before. Because they don't come around. They don't talk to you. But you will see them now that we are going into an election as never before. But anyway, I have two questions for you. One, how will you handle disagreements within your own party? And what steps will you take to avoid conflict of interest within the party? The other question, sorry, go ahead and answer that one. I'll find the other one just now.
You can answer, Mr. Harris?
Yeah. All you want to conflict in the party.
Mr. Harris, how will you deal with conflicts? How will you deal with conflicts within the party?
And what steps would you take to avoid those conflicts?
Yes.
How we gonna, what's that?
How you will deal with conflict? Conflict.
So go again. Oh, I didn't hear you.
How we gonna deal with conflict in
Within your party?
Within the party.
within my party?
Yeah. So let's say
People's National Movement.
the people who are selected for office, you have conflict within that section of the party. How will you handle that? And what steps will you take to avoid it?
Okay, what? To handle conflict in my party. Okay, for example, is we have something good. What we need to do, we need to get to know each other better. We need to understand that the road we're taking is not about us, it's about the people. So we have to come under one page. We have to come under one understanding, knowing that knowing we are supporting or we are here to serve the people of our little island, Tobago.
What would success be like for you within your term? What will success be for you within your term?
Oh, wow. That would be great. Knowing then that I have the opportunity to help my fellowship, help my brethren, and work hard to the people, national movement. Opportunity like this, I will be so glad because I will get the opportunity to finish what I started, to represent the people to the best of my ability, and going all the way to make sure that we put Tobago first again.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I
You're
wish you
welcome.
all the best.
Thank you.
I'm behind you.
Thank you for the question, and thank you again, Mr. Harris, for the response, and we welcome our lady to the mic. Oh. The mic is open. Go right ahead.
Good night, everyone. Blessings, love to Signal Patience Hill. Right. Here's some tonight. Tears come out my eye right now, right? Forgive me now. I met Harris, and Harris adopted me and took me to his mother's place in Signal Hill. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
You know something? I've learned a lot from Brian J. Harris. And whenever he have an initiative or want to do something, he come to me and asks me how I think about it. One of the things that I can say that he did real best was to bring a group of youths in Signal Hill and Patience Hill environment to start a football club, which we named Signal Hill Academy. Now, that group was excellent in everywhere they went. He even took them to Trinidad, and he beat them, we beat them, we beat them. Harris is a very passionate person for the people, especially for the youths. And I guarantee, and I know as a fact, Mr. Brian J. Harris will represent Patience Hill Signal. So, I present to you Brian J. Harris for Signal Hill, Patience Hill. Thank you.
A very strong endorsement. A very strong endorsement from Mr. Harris.
Good night, everyone. To Mr. Harris, I know you spoke about the young people. My question to you is, how would you handle the situation when they come to you when you are the area representative for Patience Hill, Signal Hill, for jobs? How will you handle that situation?
Thank you. I am a person not slack concerning my promises. I believe in action because it speaks louder than words. And a youth man come to me asking for a job, I will try my best, by God's grace, to go the distance to make sure there is something there for him, or to make sure that I find something for him. And it's all about that. They know Harris so much. They know Harris will go the distance. And I will try my best by God's grace to make sure and find that job for him. Whatever it takes by God's grace.
Just a general comment on jobs and employment, because as a former assemblyman, going to be an assemblyman once again, I've had the experience of persons coming to you for employment. And you know what is the most popular job in demand? A morning walk. Early morning walk. Now, this administration, having destroyed the private sector and having taken away the opportunity for persons to pursue entrepreneurship and self-employment and so on, came under immense pressure to provide jobs. Because if you stifle agriculture, if you stifle tourism, and if you stifle the construction sector, then you are going to create unemployment, which is what they did. So they came under immense pressure to find jobs for the young people, especially the young people that they promised jobs. Now remember, they promised 6,000 new jobs within the first 3 months of office. You all remember that promise? So they were under immense pressure to deliver on that promise. And guess what? They took this island 21 years backwards by returning something called 10 days or 10 on, 10 off. And I want to say to the people that are currently employed in a 10 days, a 10 on, 10 off, that for you is not the end. Right? And you ought not to be satisfied with a 10 days. And I know it's very early in the election cycle, but I will say this now, that when the PNM returns, there will be no 10 days. There will only be permanent employment. Now, there are a lot of vacancies in the Tobago House of Assembly to be filled. Right now, as we speak, Tobago is in a deplorable state. When you drive on the roadsides are not being maintained, not being manicured properly. You have a lot of overhanging trees. You have a lot of places where people dumping and so on. You have a lot of abandoned lots and so on. One of the plans that we will be embarking upon when we return to office is a deliberate and classy island-wide beautification trust. And we are going to change the face of Tobago. Now, the guy, one of the TPP supporters, I don't know if you all remember that guy, who after they commissioned the $100 million road that should have cost $50 million, he said that Tobago looked like Dubai. And I think he mentioned Paris as well. I disagree with that. Tobago doesn't look anywhere close to Dubai. And certainly one road, the construction of one road will not change that. You know what will change that? A deliberate, innovative, and proper plan to beautify Tobago and to make Tobago once again a clean, green, serene destination. So all those vacancies across the THA, in the division of works especially, where there are vacancies for laborers and for people to properly maintain the side of the roads, we will ensure we fill all those vacancies and create permanent employment for people. For us to effect that beautification trust, notice I'm not calling it a drive, right? Because I'm not talking about a beach cleanup. I'm not talking about just going around and picking up the garbage and cutting the bush. I'm talking about a proper plan to, in some cases, create green social spaces. So, for example, that area in Grange Bay that looks so dilapidated with that wall falling into the sea, we are going to turn that into a nice green social space where you could go and chill and watch the sunset with your family.
Oh, yes.
That long stretch of road in Scarborough, which we call the Old Milford Road, we are going to put in place a world-class esplanade with nice trees, nice greenery, and nice scenery, and the opportunity for Tobagonians to engage in vending as well along that stretch. But it's not going to be done in any ad hoc, mismanaged way. It's going to be properly done and something that will make the people of Tobago proud. And there are several other areas that we will beautify. The highway, the main highway, when you drive up that highway, you will no longer be seeing unkept grass, but you will be seeing nice, beautiful trees and landscaping and so on that drive. And only then will you begin to feel like you're actually in Dubai. Now, of course, that in itself will create employment opportunities for people. And we will also have to train our people in landscaping. So even when we talk about CPEP, CPEP will move beyond the maintenance of just those current spaces that they have. But this entire island will be turned into a clean, green island that as you journey throughout Tobago, there will be several areas that you can stop and just chill and relax at those nice, beautiful locations, free from garbage, free from eyesores, and of course, properly maintained. And that in itself will create employment opportunities for people. Now, let me say, in closing, the THA cannot and will not employ everybody. And therefore, we will create additional employment opportunities in the private sector, especially through agriculture and tourism. So I want to say to some of those same young men who hoping to get a morning job, Harris will be coming to challenge you. And I will be coming to challenge you. And the assemblymen elected in all the other areas will be coming to challenge you. Because why settle for a morning job that will pay $4,000 or $5,000 when you could learn a skill, whether it be electrical, carpentry, masonry, or whatever, or plumbing especially, and start your own business that will position you to benefit from a rejuvenated construction sector that will happen under the PNM. And you will make $40,000 a month instead of $4,000 a month. Why settle for an early morning job when through the farmland development program, we will be making hundreds of parcels of land available to potential farmers to get in there and access those developments that will have the roads, that will have the lights, that will have the electricity, that will have the water. And all that will be required of you is to get yourself trained, get yourself ready, get yourself informed, and get into those locations, get access to the land, and go in there and produce agricultural produce, whether crop or livestock, on behalf of the people of Tobago so that we can feed ourselves. Why settle for a morning job when, as a farmer, you can become a millionaire within 10 years? And that is my challenge to the young people. Because when we take tourism to the next level, when we bring the hotels, when we bring the marina, when we bring the new cruise ship terminal that will encourage more cruise ships to arrive here, who will feed them? Will we be importing the food from Trinidad? Will the fast ferries be coming up from Trinidad with lettuce and tomatoes and all the provision and stuff required to feed those people? Are Tobagonians going to sit back and allow that to happen? Not under my watch. We will get ourselves ready. The young people will get up from wherever they are, and they will come into the THA and apply for those programs. And we will train them, we will develop them, we will give them the land, we will give them the resources, and send them out there to produce food, to feed Tobagonians, and to make themselves wealthy. Most importantly, it has to be a selfish thing. So I said all of this to say that we're going to get rid of 10 on, 10 off and focus only on permanent employment. We're going to fill all the vacancies in the THA so that young people will get employment, especially those vacancies in the teams that are supposed to be maintaining and beautifying Tobago. And outside of the THA, through the agriculture sector, through a revived tourism sector, and through a rejuvenated construction sector, and even a renewable energy sector that will be introduced under the next PNM administration, additional lucrative employment and entrepreneurial activities and opportunities will be available to Tobagonians. Get yourselves ready.
You heard the plans. Putting Tobago first again, and putting Tobago people first. Thank you, political leader. So before Mr. Boris goes to the mic, I got a question from Ms. Clark. She's from Spring Garden, and you know I live in Spring Garden, right? Question is, to Mr. Harris, what are your plans for Spring Garden, the hidden garden? That's a question.
Thank you. Nice question. I've been talking to the people in Spring Garden, and Spring Garden Signal had a good relationship. And for some reason, everything went down the hill for the last 4 years. We had a good relationship with Spring Garden. When we have in sports, they're always a part of it. But for the last 4 years, I went down there, nothing. And we're going to bring back that. Because at the end of the day, together we are stronger and we are one. And everybody needs to get that level treatment. And we have to get back there. And Spring Garden, they have been forsaken for a long time. And we had to bring them back and get them involved in these things. So it's not any fault of mine or anything like that. It's just it was a hard, rough 4 years. And everything went down the hill, especially Signal Hill. Nothing. But we're going to work with that and we're going to bring back Spring Garden where it belongs, by God's grace.
Yeah. So I saw Ms. Clark heard you very well. We're working to bring back Spring Garden.
Yeah, we will.
The mic, so they can hear you online.
Good night, everybody. My name is Richard Boris. 2 questions. The first question is Mr. Brian Harris. In your walkabout, in your canvassing, I've heard you speak tonight. Now, I don't know much about you so far, but I'm hearing that you're a humble person and such. But I want to ask, in your walkabout, what do you see that you could do? Remember, you speak of the youth. Remember, you have the ageable people. So what do you see that you could do, develop, or construct that could benefit the entire community?
One of the things that I will do by walking around, I realize one of the things that we've forsaken a long time, and it have been going on and we're not taking it into consideration, our senior citizen. When you retire, it don't mean that you expire. And when I went home by them and I start speaking with them, some of them, they wanted to come outside. It's a long time. They haven't seen Scarborough. But what I did, I start a small program to show them that we're going to take them into consideration. Why? Because they were there before us. They are the one that paved the way for us. So one of the things that I'm going to do could bring a big impact is looking out for the senior citizen. For example, the 7th of this month, what I did, rent a maxi taxi, and I take 25 of them to Roxborough. Take them to Roxborough for a little drive, and also in a health fiesta, where there were doctors from all about at Roxborough, so they could get a nice checkup, and also a nice drive up in the east, And I watched at them, they were so happy. And it's something we have to do and make them happy and comfortable at their retired time. Because when you ask some of them, I spent 34 years working hard in works, doing road and this and that. They deserve better than that. And that is one thing that we're going to work on our senior citizen, even though it's once every 3-4 months. Give them an outing. Give them something nice. Take them for a drive around, because they was here before us and they made the way for us, and we must be appreciated, for the things that they have done for us. So that is one thing that we're going to work on.
Second question is for both you and the political leader.
Huh?
Now we know that second question is for both you and the political leader. You would answer first and the political leader would answer after. Now we know that the House dissolved. So PLM already campaigning and TTP will be campaigning along with others. Fireworks now start. Right? Politics is a dirty game. Things that you don't know about yourself or never hear about yourself or you never did, you might see yourself on social media. You'll be hearing things that is not truth, fake profiles and all these things. People go try to dig up dirt on you. How, if this is to happen, how would it, if it would affect you, and how would you deal with it?
Well, okay. I expect anything in this game. You know, I have 2 trees in my garden, fruit trees. One of them I realized bearing fruit, the other one not. But when I take my kids up there, they wouldn't go around the tree that not bearing fruit. They will stone at the one that bearing fruit. So I am prepared for the war, you know what I mean? So it shows that I'm bearing fruit and it shows that we are bearing fruit. So it's okay.
The mic is still open.
Okay. Good night, everybody. This question is for the political leader. They talk about the lands. I have a friend that was given land. What he wants to know is, with the process that completely stopped, would he have to reapply for it, sir?
That is one, or how many questions you have? 2?
One.
One? And that's the question? No, they will not have to reapply. Any documentation that was given by the Tobago House of Assembly as it relates to the occupation of land is in fact a legally binding document. So those persons will not have to reapply. Now, I'm hearing about situations where people were displaced. In other words, there were some people that we gave documentation for land in Friendship Estate for the purpose of agriculture, under the same program that I described earlier. This administration came in and made a decision to review the land usage arrangement of Friendship Estate. And the areas where we previously identified for agricultural usage, they identified now for commercial usage. It is my information that the people who are expected to benefit from these commercial opportunities are people who are not from Tobago. Now, I have no problem with people from outside of Tobago coming to invest in Tobago's private sector to create employment and other opportunities for Tobagonians. I have no problem with that. However, I will say this. In every case where a Tobagonian was disenfranchised or disadvantaged by such a decision, the next PNM administration will take every legal step possible to reverse it.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I will say is that we have to be very balanced with our development, and we have to ensure that our processes and procedures are effected in such a way that it puts the interests of the people of Tobago first. Now, I want you to think about this. It's just something to think about. We have major supermarkets in Tobago. Most of them had to face the open market to purchase land to start these establishments, right? Some of them, of course, may have benefited from land that was inherited from family and so on. But the average person who operates a supermarket now in Tobago would have had to purchase the land on their own. is it fair for a competitor, let's say from Trinidad, to come to Tobago and be given state lands free of charge, especially land that was previously identified for other purposes, such as to give individual farmers from Tobago that opportunity to expand their farming? Should that land be given to such persons free of charge to come to Tobago to set up supermarkets? Will that be fair? Will that be fair? Will that be balanced? And will that be considerate of the sacrifices, the previous sacrifices made by other indigenous Tobago supermarket owners? Ask yourself the question. I will not answer at this point. So I'm just saying we have to be extremely careful and extremely balanced in our development. And when it comes to farming, when it comes to advancing Tobagonians who are interested in that sector, this administration is very, very serious when we get back into office. And therefore, anybody that is disadvantaged in any way, we will ensure that we restore balance and that we restore fairness, of course, with full respect for the laws of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, political leader. I know we promised you this evening. Go ahead, ask your question. Those online, take them, give them the mic. Bring the mic. And after him, we're going to take closing comments.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. Hello?
Right.
All right. Now, we're living in a real world, right? And so Dennis, I asked my brother, Brian Harris, a question, right? The question is, are you going to make promises? He told me no. Okay, listen, right? The government of Trinidad and Tobago right now is doing a lot of wicked things to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And I am asking Mr. Ansel Dennis, who said he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do other. You think he'll get you with Kamala? Now, listen here. Listen here. Remember when Mr. London was in office and they get 12 million to be, remember that, right? She gave Mr. London a hard time, but Mr. London steered his ship well because people were employed. So, Mr. Dennis, here we're going on, right? Try to avoid making any kind of promise that it may not be fulfilled now under Miss Kamala Persabisesa, who don't care about chicken, fowl, duck, or anybody. Right? I just put it out there to you, sir. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, you have good initiatives. You have very good initiatives, right? But remember, money coming from where? Central, what? Have a good day, sir. Good night. Thank you.
So let me let me respond to that. Now, he mentioned that we were in a similar situation in 2013. And you said a gentleman handled it very well, right, Mr. London? Right, so if he handled it well, I will handle it well too. And that's because I learned my politics from him. Now, I only make promises that I can deliver. So any commitment you hear me making here is a commitment that I can deliver. And there are also commitments, because you have to remember that I was once the chief secretary, and the farmers will tell you that those commitments were well on the way to be delivered. Until, of course, the administration changed and they came and scrapped the programs and diverted the funds to do other things. The THA is allocated by law, and this is a must. It doesn't matter who is in the central government. The THA must be allocated a minimum of 4.03% of the national budget. So, as long as the next PNM administration continues to get its resources legally due to the Tobago House of Assembly, we will manage those resources in the best interest of the people of Tobago. And let me say as well that, of course, Tobago could do with a lot more money, right? The autonomy bills were going to shift the minimum upwards from 4.03% to 6.8%. And, well, we all know that Farley didn't support the bill, robbing Tobagonians of $7 billion thus far. Had the bills been passed in 2021, we would have had an additional $7 billion, not million, $7 billion over the last 4 years that would have gone into the development of Tobago. That money would have meant new cruise ship terminal, airport in Roxbury if they want to build one, enough money to encourage investment in the hotel sector, with the THA perhaps even agreeing to construct some of those hotels if they chose to. Every road would have been smooth in Tobago with $7 billion additional resources available. That would have been more money to send students off to university who recently got thrown out of university because this current THA could not pay. And, well, I shouldn't say couldn't pay. They could have paid and decided not to, because they took the money and spent it on other things that were less important. $7 billion additional resources would have done a lot for the people of Tobago. But notwithstanding the fact that we could always do with more, once the allocation is managed properly, once it is managed properly, it can in fact have great impact on the lives and livelihoods of the people of Tobago. And the main reason why you have not seen that impact, the main reason why the Tobago economy is sluggish and struggling, is not that they didn't get enough money. Now again, we could do it more, but money isn't the problem, because they got a total of $13 billion, more money than any previous PNM administration got in the past. They got the most money. So it's not a money problem. It's a management problem.
Thank you very much. As I said earlier, thank you. We're going for closing comments, because you know we have a former national football captain in our midst, and she wants to look at some football. We promise all of you we will look at some football. Mr. Harris, give us your closing comments tonight.
Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Really, really appreciate it. Now we see what's happening in our beautiful island of Tobago. You know, when I walk the street, I hear the youth men, they cry out. The older person cry out. So my closing word is, fellas, it's time we put back Tobago first again, you know. It's time we stand and say enough is enough, especially for those who come after us, our younger kids, you know. So my closing word tonight is, let's put Tobago first again and let PNM reign forever.
And quickly we run to the political leader put a cap on tonight's activity. Brother Dennis.
Well, it has been yet another good conversation, and I must say I really, really enjoy these meetings. And I enjoy them more than going on the platform and just talking to you. I like the fact that we are able to come to the various electoral districts and hear from the people, hear your complaints, take your questions, some of them very difficult questions. But the fact is that this is the first time, and I hope I'm right, because I'm only around since 1987, which was just the other day. But this is the first time that any political party is putting our candidates before you like this so that you can talk to them and question them and ask them about their plans and ask them what they're going to do even before they go on a political platform to preach to you. This is the first time. And therefore, I think the fact that night after night, our candidates especially, are able to tell you exactly what they are going to do on your behalf, are able to tell you, the people in the districts, why you should support them and give them the opportunity to represent you, that augurs well for this party, it augurs well for the island, and it augurs well for our democracy. So I want to say that I am proud of Mr. Brian Harris. And this current team of the PNM, we have a lot of young people. I consider myself still a youth. But we also have some experienced people who have been around a lot longer than I have been and who will know a lot more about some things than I do. And therefore, that is what this team is about. It's about supporting each other, learning from each other, operating with the kind of unity and cohesiveness that will guarantee you that the next time you put a PNM THA to manage your affairs, that will do so effectively to the extent where your quality of life and the service that you receive from the Tobago House of Assembly will improve significantly. And my comparison, when I say significantly, I am not talking about better than the last 4 years. Because over the last 4 years, the bar has gone from very high to, as we like to say, below the white line in the road, to where the minority leader went in responding to the Chief Secretary outer place comments. Right? So the bar has gone very low over the last 4 years. So we're not talking about the last 4 years. We're talking about even the 21 years of the PNM. This team is going to improve upon that. So we will continue the PNM's legacy of development. Of course, there are some things that we are going to do differently. And I've said before that it's the same party, the same color, the same founding principles, the same philosophies, the same fundamentals. But each administration, each leader comes with a different vision and a different focus. That is how it works. So when they tell you about don't vote back the PNM because the PNM was there for 21 years, ignore that. Ignore that. Tell them that this election, and I will keep saying this, this election is about the period 2022 to 2026. And when you vote, you have to vote for who you believe will make your life better from 2026 to 2030. And I'm very confident that you, the people of Tobago, will be sensible in your decision making and that you will vote for Brian Harris in this electoral district and that you will vote for a PNM administration to ensure that we put Tobago people and Tobago's business first again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank all of you for coming out. Thank Brother Harris and, of course, the political leader. We thank all the media and all those who are here. I want to say thanks to all of you. We're going to keep our promise. And if you want to put Tobago first again, and if you say Tobago deserves better, then you will put your X by the Balizé. And when you do that, you're going to put Tobago first again. And then I will say, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the people's national movement in the interest of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
Taking over in this holding midfield spot as we take a look at the live standings in Group B. The goal.
So they're going to guide us with the football.
Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, who are.
We're going to shift